Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And here's the meme of the day, brought to you by FiveMind.com.
Leftish. You can hate rich people all you want, but I never got a job from someone on welfare. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's true.
I gotta say, it really does appear as if it's happening. We've been talking about this new conservative age rising, which of course a lot of people thought was hyperbole, just political rhetoric. But no, my friends, it is happening. We are possibly in the midst of a right-wing globalist revolution. And it's funny because the rhetoric a couple months ago was that it's all over.
Nah,
MAGA
I
is
think
dead, the
not.
right has been stopped, the midterm polls prove it, Trump's approval rating proves.
For me, there are only hope when politicians that win elections are equal to, or even worse, like in a good sense, like of Naib Bukele. Like if it's not something of his level, or even worse than that, in a good sense again. Like for me, it's a very nice sense. I don't even be happy. I don't even get happy about it.
Proves it, but I've said this forever that Trump was simply a product of the grassroots movement. As much as the left loves to suggest that he's the cult figure that this whole thing revolves around, the reality is that President Trump is simply a vessel, as Michael Moore famously put it, the metaphorical hand grenade that the people used to toss into the White House. President Trump was simply the first piece of the puzzle. It goes so beyond President Trump. This is a revolution.
Fefe said, we need the strong man who creates good times. Yeah, we need a lot of those. I know that we might have a lot of good ones out there who fit those stuff, but they are not, and this is the problem, they are not in positions of power. This is the whole problem.
Of thought, and it doesn't appear to be stopping anytime soon. This is where the left is making a serious mistake, especially Democrats, but not specifically Democrats. This hyperfixation from Western liberals on President Trump and Trumpian fascism. But Trump's on his second term, and he's not going to be here forever. He's already 80 years old. But they've been so distracted with the evil orange man that they've essentially surrendered the ideological debate floor. This hyperfixation focus on one man, while refusing to acknowledge the reality of their own shortcomings and failures, refusing to adapt and engage in policy discussion and debate. And now as they continue to chant, Orange Man bad, we're going to impeach the president, well, I think they're in for a serious surprise as they realize that the battle is so much more than Trump, and it
Orange man bad, so let's screw the sealant off the pool.
is everywhere. The entire world appears to be done with the woke bullshit, the counterintuitive green policies, the high crime, and especially the bad economic policies. The movement is now global, and it appears to now be taking over South America. It's happening across the Western Hemisphere. It's happening in Europe. MAGA is not dead. We are just getting started. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so let's start off with this. The news now dropping is that the Colombian people have elected a new president, right-wing, Trump-endorsed Abelardo de la Espriella. Excuse my awful Spanish.
Yeah, you're not just gonna talk about how the I forgot the name of the previous dictator of Colombia. I think it's Gustavo Petro. Like he's attempting he's attempting to I don't know the name in English of this word. He's attempting to take the power the power again through force. You know? Because he lost elections. I forgot the name of. I think it's coup d'état, right? Coup d'état.
Pronunciation, but yeah, basically, so much for MAGA is dead. No, MAGA's alive and well and still spreading across the damn globe. Take a look at the streets of Colombia. Those are Make Colombia Great Again hats. It's like 2016 all over again. And once again, the trend is clearly moving in one direction. Name a single country outside of Canada, basically, that isn't moving towards the right. It's very clearly all moving in one direction, and nowhere is that more true than in South America. Look at this map right over here. On the left, you have June 2023, with 10 left-wing governments controlling the region. Now fast forward 3 years to June 2020.
And that's why I chose this country to go to. Because it has been in their right wing's hands for over 20 years.
And we're seeing a total reversal. 7 right-wing governments with 6 left-wing. We're looking at a complete reversal, a massive right-wing wave. And honestly, it's likely to continue because you know exactly what's going to happen, right? These nations are now going to follow the exact same path as Argentina and El Salvador. We know exactly what happens to a country when they move away from central planning and corrupt cartel-controlled governments to free markets, capitalism, and putting away the bad guys. When a nation undergoes the right economic reforms, when they become more stable from an investment standpoint, whether it's the issue of crime or corrupt, burdensome governments and overregulation and taxation, all of a sudden money starts to pour in. It's the same thing that's happening in El Salvador right now. Same thing that's happening.
Well, if things go really terrible for me, this one is still another option. Even though now it's a left-wing like government there, and the taxes are also pretty much high, but in talkings about censorship, it's a lot better still than my own country. That's Uruguay.
In El Salvador right now.
Hey, too. By the way, let me go back here 1 second. Let's show you guys something on the map, something interesting that happened lately. And this thing is right here. So here is Amazonia. You guys may know Amazonia, right? So it's around here. It's this very huge region here. And there is the capital of like, it's also where is the, yeah, Amazon rainforest. It's a state. It's a whole huge, freaking huge state around here. It's all, and also like, all these countries around here also has a piece of Amazonia as well. Okay, all of these countries has a piece of it. It's so freaking huge. Okay, all of these countries has a piece of it. So we had a cartel leader or something that from a how I call that from a terrorist group that was murdered, and I don't know if it was because of US. I don't know, but the guy was murdered, and he was the leader of an organization that acts in many countries in South America, but in my country it acts most on this area, and it's called Tren de Aragua. Tren de Aragua. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's talking about that. Oh, the chat. Exactly. So the guy was murdered. Yeah. And this was something positive that happened, but yeah, I will not talk much because, it's friends with the dictator of my country, so it's not bad I get in touch with it that much at all. Like as Gustavo Petro is, as Maduro was as well, friends with him. So I better not talk much,
in
right?
El Salvador right now.
I just want to give more info about that. Oh my god, I was thinking here, guys, about that, and I'd say like 80% of the videos that I recorded today here on the stream are not going to the work too. Oh my god, like they are so risky in many different senses, most of them. I chose very terrible videos. Very terrible videos to react here. I will not like I will not be able to make most of this to YouTube. Oh, and again, that's why it's important. You guys support like all you guys done because booktube really, it's being really difficult. Things are being really difficult with that platform. Really, really difficult. Everything mine gets demonetized, gets removed, gets copyrighted, gets everything that can possibly happen, and I don't get any fucking views at all. So yeah, that's why it's important. And I will not like be putting any of these videos there because of this. Thank you, Justice. Thank you very much.
The moral of the story in El Salvador is that crime is not just a social issue, it's also economic poison. When criminals are running the streets, when businesses are getting looted, when stores are closing, what investors see as chaos and risk, and so they don't put money in. That's exactly why Walmarts and Targets are pulling out of Democrat-run cities. But the moment you bring stability, what follows is usually economic stability, and then, of course, overtaxation and regulation, creating an unfriendly, unprofitable environment to do business. Well, obviously, that's going to contribute to the same issue. That's been the story in El Salvador. It's the story after Javier Milei won in Argentina. Both of those nations are on the up and up, and so now you're seeing other South American nations observing the foreign track record of their neighbors and saying, you know what, we want a piece of that pie as well. And that's really the moral of the story here. You know, the left wants you to believe that pie has been overcooked to a shriveling black piece of coal. But the reality is it's a massive pie, and there's a whole lot to go around, and it's a pie that seems to be getting bigger and bigger. And what speaks to that is not just what's going on in South America, but also what's going on in Europe. I got a really interesting graphic here I'd like to show you guys from Geo Universe. We got the statement visualized here. Europeans are becoming more and more right-wing. Political positioning of leading parties in opinion polls across European countries. What appears to now be the dominant political...
That music video from Michael Jackson happens near the Arcos da Lapa, how it's called. And it's in a favela nearby. I mean, there is a lot. Like the area, like Arcos da Lapa, they are surrounded by favelas, by communities. Really, it's surrounded by them. So I actually have no idea which one actually was the one recorded, to be honest. But yeah, yeah, I better stop doxing myself.
Force across Europe ranges from center-right to far-right. You can't tell me this train has been derailed. No, it's barreling through and getting faster and faster as it moves forward. And that's how you know that it's absolutely over for the left. If even Europeans have had enough of your leftist BS, well then that right there is the greatest proof that the Overton window has totally shifted. We're going back towards basic reality. For years, the left had total control over the mainstream media, social media, and Hollywood. They were pumping out non-stop soy boy frickin' propaganda that was really getting into people's heads. But ever since Elon Musk bought Twitter, ever since their little NGO networks have been basically dismantled, USAID defunded, it feels like the entire left-wing power structure is collapsing before us. The self-flagellating Obama left-wing era is now over. The left-wing monopoly on ideas and media, what's politically acceptable, well, it's officially collapsed, and now right-wing ideas are spreading faster than ever before, mostly because the left can't censor them, and also so because, well, they're just better ideas. People are seeing the memes, they're seeing the results, and most importantly, they're finally hearing the arguments that for so long were censored, and this, my friends, is the result. In other words, the playing field has kind of been evened, and the right wing is winning globally in the marketplace of ideas. At least, that's my perception. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Okay, I see you in the next one too. It's happening everywhere now. Let me see. What is happening everywhere now? Before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank all of you, my patrons, for the incredible support to my work here on YouTube, and especially my 5-Tail Fox Style member, the Holy Ball, and to all of my 3-Tail Fox Style members, Wallany Wolf, Fanny Sylvie, It Himself, Sheila Not Serious, Eustace the Useful, Zealous Isaiah, Ala Rosas, Max Tenor, Nicotino, Avery, Halcyonic Eder, and TV8. Thank you very much. You guys are amazing. Also thanks to everyone that have been supporting me on Ko-Fi, Kick, and to all of my YouTube members. You can support this channel life and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon. Link is in the description below. And that's it for today, my dear Fox Links. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.